What up? What up? What up, Weekfield? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? This is your girl Lati jumping in with a quick channeled message. It's not gonna be anything long. It's gonna be real fast. Hit it and quit it type of message style. Yes, we in the middle of doing some other things. You know, we're taking a little 15-minute break. You know how we do. Just to bring this quick message to you, to all of those in the wheat field. How y'all doing? How y'all doing, y'all's wheat? Welcome to you. Welcome to the wheat field. If you new, welcome. Welcome to you too. Come on in here. This is a free and open space. You know, I'm a channeled messenger, a message with the most high God, the infinite intelligence of the all, aka wisdom, the principal thing, you know, and the breath of life which moves the word Ashe. So we read creation. That's pretty much what it is. Am I on the right path? Is here, and definitely name all the things that you love are here. Are you on the right path? And can you name all the things that you love? I believe that somebody is on a path of doing the thing that they do love. And that's kind of like the energy, you know, getting back on here to do another quick message. This is definitely something that I love. I do. This is where testimony meets tarot. Tears and wheat tarot show, because you sure enough never know what you're gonna get. But if you get to vibe and subscribe, you know, and if you find out that it's something that you care about, share it out, because sharing is caring. And if you want to come back on a daily and get this spell, hit that little bell. Y'all know what it do. Since y'all know what it do, what it do, y'all wheat. Yes. Am I communicating my needs? That's a good one. So somebody is on the right path, doing something that you love, but is there something that you need that you are not communicating? Somebody is not communicating all of their needs. Now, disclaimer. Yeah, we got this. Where can I create more space? Somebody filling up their life with busy work and not necessarily all the things that they need, but it's just things to keep you busy. I can relate to that. But the disclaimer is that we cuss, y'all. It comes out how it comes out, because we are spiritual. We are not religious at all. We are not. We believe that creation is whole and creation is complete. And I feel like somebody need to speak up about something that's, you know, going on. Your commitment is being tested. Maybe your commitment to, you know, servicing your own needs by speaking up for what you need. You're on the right path and you're going the right way, right? You're doing something that you love, Ashe. But maybe it's a couple of little things that need to be filled in, a couple of things that you need to fulfill this purpose that's here that is really not present. Something that you're not particularly saying. Something that you probably are just accepting that is not going to be filled, or there's really not an outlet for. And I could talk about that, because that's one of the things that kind of drove me back to coming on and doing another message. Been experiencing some stuff in my own personal life. We've been talking about it in the little twos and fews in these videos as that energy comes up for me to speak about it, or if I'm feeling somebody else's energy and it's relative, we'll speak about it. But this one, okay, pride is in reverse, you know, and that's, you know, letting go of pride. Right? Because if it's something that you need and you're not speaking up about it, maybe it's a reason why you're not speaking up about it, and maybe pride is the issue. Pride could definitely be the issue. Make sure my cars is in the upright. They are. But pride did come out in the reverse. So maybe somebody is feeling shameful. You know, maybe what you need or you need to express has something to do with shame. Right, I just felt a whole different, and judgment is right back again. So somebody placing a heavy judgment on their self, backed up with guilt. Yes, backed up with guilt and a need for forgiveness. Maybe that's a thing too. Death is here. Now, if y'all been watching my videos in my series, you'll see that my family has experienced a whole bunch of death and grief. Yes. So if this message is to edify me, I take it. I definitely do. Change is on the scene as well. A lot of things are changing. But I do feel like, you know, I've always said that grief comes with gratitude. We got perseverance and indecision here, and these two just popped out, flipped. Really feel perseverance. Indecision almost didn't even want me to show it. But perseverance for real. You know, having to get through the stages of grief and everything that comes along with that. The change in lifestyle, the change in family dynamics. And whatever the purpose is right back out. We showed that at the, you know, earlier with this deck. Purpose and creating a legacy. A living legacy based on the tragedies that happen. I do feel like somebody is on the right path. I do feel like you're doing something out of love or from a place of love or something that you do love. And even if I take it and apply that to self in this particular service, bringing messages to help others or to talk about, to testify in terms of what has happened in life that I know others will relate to, because the problems are common, right? You know, you not by yourself. Loneliness in this, and I'm not alone in it. It's a lot of people that go through this, and a lot of people don't have this right here, patience. Patience is thin, and when I say my patience has been paper thin, pencil line thin, ink point pen thin, it's been a whole thing. And to hold your composure, to keep your classy, to keep things under wrap, you know what I mean? Shit, regret and envy is here. I don't necessarily regret it. I know other people that are going through regret and envy, you know, at the same time as in grief, sorrow, despair, anger, disappointment, all of those emotions that are associated with grief when it comes to death. And your commitment is tested again to hold that classy, because it's a lot of things that you can let go, lay bare, lay out, you know what I mean? And it's like, how do you testify it? How do you go about that? And that's literally what I was sitting over there meditating on. Like, how do you do that? Because there's so many falsehoods and pseudo personas, and you know how people get to acting when death comes about, and folks want to show up and fall all out and act like you've been there and you ain't never been around, like, and they like to portray that indecision. Again, how do you do that? How do you rectify the wrong, address what's wrong, all while having a sense of discretion, all while not laying your whole shit bare, but to testify and use the testimony that may help somebody else? On my live today on Facebook, we went into a little bit of it, you know what I mean, that, you know, of course, yeah, because some people in denial, but denial is upside down. I'm not in denial. I'm not. I'm like fully facing what's going on. But there are others that are in denial and that choose to turn a blind eye, to look away, and to accept, you know, the fuckery, the buffoonery of the day. And those that are real and can't stand in the face of the nonsense, like you repel it. It's repulsive to your spirit to be in it like that, and you have to pull yourself away. But you may be feeling called to testify, to put a testimony to, or just address the buffoonery of the day. Like, how do you do that and hold your classy, Ashe? Because everything is out here for social media, and it's just like, oh, you put your whole family biz out there. But no, it's not about that. It's about teaching others and conveying to others who are going through the same thing, like, how do you get through it, right? To not be in denial, to release the shame. Because with denial in the reverse, I'm not in denial, and pride is in the reverse. So that means there's a certain sense of shame. There is. I mean, like, it would be shameful to put everything out there on blast like that, because that, again, is not classy to put everything on blast. And there's certain things that you really shouldn't say, because there's a lot of folks dealing with some guilt in this day. It is. And we could all place judgments. You know, we could place judgments, but forgiveness at the end of it, because the Father's will shall be done. The Father's will be done, you know. But I just have to go back to the fact of, like, those old Medea movies where somebody at a funeral, and you know the person that's screaming and crying the loudest and acting a damn ass is the one that was nowhere to be found when this other person was breathing. And that's the thing that's like, yeah, where was your true friendship and camaraderie? The fact that somebody can count on you and trust you and depend on you in real life, you know. So the living shall not suffer, the dead shall not, right? And so for us to, it wouldn't behoove me to go on a vendetta to avenge, you know, my person's reputation and their honor, right? Because somebody else want to place themselves on the scene like they really had something to do with something when you really ain't do nothing but sow destruction. And I'm talking about that ugliness, like that, those family secrets and curses that people don't talk about. Oh, it's just a, oh, don't sit on their lap type shit. Some of those. Oh, and then they just disappearing, ain't never been around shit, in and out of jail on bullshit, ain't all them ugly stories. Oh, we used to go do such and such and so and remember this and all of this. I was just a whole and that. And then you leave a wake of destruction. And maybe this, I mean, my person got their life together. They did. Ain't came back and repaired nothing that they were supposed to repair, but they got their life together. And so now they can say that, I'm the face of recovery when you haven't repaired nothing else. And then you lose your own seed and you want to act the ass. It's a whole Medea scene when you lose your seed that you didn't do nothing to repair. Peace. Peace is here. And it's in the challenge. I felt it flip out. It's in the power. I believe this person ain't going to have no peace. They not. They not. And still continue after this whole what love is on the scene though. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that. Failure. Failure to love. Love was a failure. How they showed they love was a failure. Something to that point. Or maybe I have a failure to really give this person some empathy or some sympathy. That's true. That's really true. What did I say? Failure to give them empathy or sympathy. That is very true. Because when we have to reckon with our own actions. We do. And that's the state that I'm sitting in right now, why I came on, right? To say, how do you deal with that when you see such buffoonery and fakery and nonsense, and to not call it out, to not put it on blast? I mean, you got yourself out there in the ether showing your ass and everybody else's ass and broadcast and all of this stuff, but it's not real. It's fake. You was a whole monster back in the day. And you haven't repaired nothing that you destroyed, Ashe. You would rather just go on and put on a whole nother mask and become somebody else in this day. And then when one of your own seed pass away, it's like, oh, I got to keep up a front. And you have exploited this person from childhood all the way through now in death. But I feel like it's going to be a reckon to be had to that. It is. It is not going to go unnoticed. But it's not on to me to have a vendetta. It's not. I'm called to do this. Give forgiveness. Because forgiveness, I'm challenged with that, that's for sure. Forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for self. So that I can have peace. So you can have peace. You know that this person is on nonsense. You know that the whole scene is bullshit. Like, and they just doing that shit just so it could fit whatever bullshit they done told the whole other new crew. Because this new crew don't know you or the old them and what really happened. But when everybody else truly do know and we just let the buffoonery go on, then we put more at risk. And that is where I sit. Do we call it out so that we can save and help others? Or do you let it die? Do you let it burn? Do you just give it up to the Father and let the Father's will be done? Now that's the thing. Get that out. Imagination. Give it up to the Father and let the Father's will be done. Because I bet you the Father could come up with a whole bunch of stuff that I couldn't even think of. That's true. Because that's my greatest friend right there. If I want to depend on somebody right there, that's the Father. The Father, the source of all things. I mean, you talking about the infinite intelligence, the wisdom that syncopates all things. What they got coming to them is way worse than you could ever say, broadcast, or do. The Father's will shall be done. And the Father knows who and what is really true. The Father sees all things. So while they might be thinking that they fronting and faking and cake walking for the gram, for their whole new setup and situation, then it's all good because the Father knows the real. that heart right there in the inside, that gut, this right here, this guilt, you know, the fact that they can't deny, like you can't deny, is real. The fact that this pride is shame, pride in reverse, but that's, I feel shame, shame, right? No peace. Peace is in a challenge. Commitment being tested. Commitment being tested. Are you going to be real in this day? Or are you just going to continue the same thing? To be real would give you some freedom. But there's a lot of people that can't be disciplined through the real. They can't. Have no idea how to be real, how to remain real, how to be committed, accountable, consistent, you know, perseverance. They can't do that. To get through that is like too much. It's too much. I think it's more than they can ever imagine. And I feel like that's what's going to happen to these people who sit in buffoonery all the time, wearing these masks, hurting people for no reason at all. Yeah, they're going to be sick. You talking about sick. Sick. They're going to be sick. You know, they think that they can get away with it and that people don't notice. But the person, the one that notices the most is the Father. Gratitude. They don't have none, you know. But we should be grateful. Because when you stay on the right side of things, then you know that the Father will take care of you, will provide all things. You just have to have the forgiveness in your heart. And I'm speaking to self too right now. Forgiveness, 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 forgiveness. Even though it might be hard to forgive, we have to. I can't tell you what to do, I can't tell you to do fuck shit. It's all recommendations. But Father say forgive, forgive, be grateful. And I'm grateful because you're not alone. You're not. You might feel like you're alone going through this, but you're not. These people who do this messed up stuff, wearing masks, taking advantage of people, exploitation of others, you know, that intentional buffoonery, that right there, they are going to end up lonely. They are. They're going to end up lonely. What did I say? Death. Till death. They are going to end up lonely. Somebody is going to be sick as the fuck right here. When I say sick, because of how it's all going to end. How it's all going to end. Truth always prevails. Truth and goodness always prevails. Yep, they're going to have regret. And that regret is growing right now. I mean, like, major fucking regret. And empathy and pride right here back together isn't a challenge. You know, denial, strong. It's not in, I mean, like, they challenge, but you can't really. I know I'm not in denial. I know the truth. Maybe the others are affected by, you know, walking that line. Like, they don't want to face the whole truth. They don't want to face the whole truth. Like, oh, I can account for some of it, but not for all of it. Not for the depth of what I've done. You know, and you know, making excuses and shit like that. Yeah, making excuses, placing the blame on others. They not gonna have no peace. I'm telling you, they not. And what they gonna get is more than you can even imagine. The guilt is gonna kill their ass. And I'm telling you, I feel like somebody is gonna seriously be challenged by a whole bunch of guilt. Those ones that be falling out, passing out, that's what we were saying, passing out and screaming and hollering, causing the most ruckus, can't do nothing in a peaceful way to just bring peace. Even in the last days, even in the after days, they still go at it, still egging and twisting and just finding some kind of way to dig at it. Again, in our situation, it was exploitation from childhood all the way through past death. Like, how do you exploit somebody their whole life and expect somebody else to hold you in high honor? That shit right there to me has no motherfucking purpose. But I bet you the testimony that we give is going to help other people, though. So we have to find a way to make it count for something. That's my purpose, is to make it count for something. Like, you know, to call and shed a light on people who do that. Those energies that seek to destroy you, that seek to exploit you, seek to gain on your work, on your goodness. to suck you dry. That's them narcissists. They don't have no fucking balance. But my purpose is to bring balance, and I'm not scared. It takes courage to speak out, to try and bring balance to these ugly situations. But again, what is the balance when you want to speak out? Because you don't want to put everybody, you know, the whole specifics. And I find that in readings too. Like, I hear a name and stuff like that, and I don't be wanting to call the name out because it's just, you know, it's a thing. And I do sometimes regret by not saying a name because it could help that person. It really, really could. And sometimes with being raw and real like that and just blood open, you know, bloody chicken to make your ass sick. I'm talking about salmonella sick. And some of these things that I be reading to make a person sick as hell. But, you know, it's like, how far do you go? You know? Courage is here again. I guess maybe I do need to pick up that courage, you know, to just say it. So maybe it'll help other people put an end to some stuff, end to certain things. I'm learning that endings are nearly beginnings, right? Beginnings of what? To move into a higher frequency of love, to be honest, right? End the bullshit and have enough faith and trust. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. So even if I feel like, you know, my commitment is being tested, am I going to go all the way with it? Am I going to call it all the way out? Am I going to lay the blood raw real out? No matter how sick people get about it, you know what I mean? But it's the honesty. It's the realness. It's the honesty. You know, am I comfortable enough in self to lay it all the way out? You know, and let the chips fall. But I mean, I forgive me, and I gotta forgive the others, not for them, but for self, because that energy eats away at us on the inside. Then our energy is off kilter, and we can't flow the way that we need to flow, and that's not the way it's supposed to go. It's not. That's why, again, forgiveness leading to freedom. Can I forgive these people that did this thing? You know, can I forgive my sister for what she did? Can I forgive my father for what he has done? Yeah, I can. But can I sit in a day in front of the face of lies and deceit? No, not gonna do it. Not gonna do it at all. Should I call it out? Yeah, we should. We should fucking call it out when people do some bullshit instead of just sitting up here accepting it. No. It's time to call judgment on that shit. It's time to call judgment. You know, commitment being tested. Are we going to go all the way with it? You and your loved ones are safe. But it is time to make a decision. Time to take some action. Do something different. We've been at an impasse with this shit far too long. Been at an impasse with it far too long. It's time to reject that nonsense and the fucking trickery. It is. It's time to reject that. It's too many people get hurt because we sweep secrets up underneath the rug. It's too many children get hurt because you sweep shit underneath the rug. Instead of saying don't sit on so-and-so's knee, we should be putting so-and-so behind motherfucking bars. That's what we should be doing. That's what should happen. It's time out for us to be hiding and protecting people who cause harm and who refuse to come to repentance, those who refuse to repair. The answers that you need are coming. Maybe this situation will reveal some stuff. Again, speaking out, it helps other people. It's time to be bold and take action. That's what I was saying. How do we take action in this day? You don't want to call people and put them on blast, have your whole family business out there. But at the end of the day, it's a lot of people that can be helped through testimony. It's a lot of people that could be saved through prosecution. It's a whole bunch of shit that can be done. And maybe that's why the Spirit is calling somebody to step out of their comfort zone. To step up, to speak out. I was just saying that it makes me uncomfortable to call somebody's name when I have a reading. Because just to be comfortable in that is a whole thing. But I'm being called to step out, to go further. Balance spirituality and practicality. You know, the Spirit is telling me to say something, to do something, to testify, to put it out there, to help others. But to balance that with, you know, my comfort level and my comfortability. It is a time for healing. And it's a lot of people that need to be healed. It's a lot of people that need to be helped. And I do see justice is sitting here as well. Justice is here because justice needs to be had. I see Soul Tribe is still sitting here. It's a lot of people that needs to be helped. It's a lot of people that needs to be healed. Again, it's time to take action. This personal issue is coming to an end. Full moon in Cancer, I'll take that. Yeah. And at the end of it, we will not let our past hold us back. We won't. No. And communication is key. How do we communicate it? How do we get it out? How do we testify? How do we help others? How do we speak about it? How do we raise awareness? All while having a sense of class and discretion all at the same time. That's the energy that I have for y'all. Again, this is Tears and We Tarot show, where you show enough never know what you gonna get, because this is where testimony meets tarot. If you vibe, subscribe. If you care about it, share it out. And if you want to come back on the daily and get this spell, hit that bell. To the next now, y'all, I love you just like I love me, because I love the source that made me. The infinite intelligence that syncopates all things, and the breath of life that connects and combines all things. To the next now. Ashe.